Hey guys, welcome back to the studio. If you're new here, my name is Sean. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad you guys are here today. I have something really cool, well, at least I think it's cool, that I want to work on that I got at an estate sale. Now, estate sales, you're supposed to walk through the house and like everything's for sale. This was an outdoor yard sale. It had really great prices and everything, but it definitely was not an estate sale. Nonetheless, I'm glad I went because I scored some really cool finds. One of them being this set of gorgeous fern plant stands. I mean, they're two matching tables, but they're a little too high to be considered a side table for like a chair or a couch. I kind of envision them as a plant stand. Now, they have a Bombay company vibe. Any of you remember that company that was like in the mall and it had all of this chunky fake wood, plasticky kind of finished, pretty items that would like trick you into thinking that they were treasures from all around the world? I have several pieces from the Bombay company, thank you very much. They did a fabulous job at tricking people for a fraction of the cost, and these give me that kind of a vibe. They're not solid wood, but they're super, super heavy, and they have like that plasticky faux veneer kind of finish on the outside that's not really sandable because it's not really wood underneath there, but nonetheless still in great condition, very heavy and very solid. It also has this faux top on them, and I don't even know what this is supposed to be called. Like, it's not wicker. It reminds me of like bamboo. Like, I think it's bamboo, like very fine, thin bamboo. That's what I'm gonna go with. It's bamboo, okay? It's got this bamboo-y vibe, but I'm willing to bet that that is also a faux finish, that these are not actually real, but I still think that I could darken them up a bit and utilize the faux-ness that they already have, just in a richer kind of a way. I don't like the colors. These are that reddy orange color that's just not attractive, and I have had an amazing shade that I have been dying to do on something, and it's happening on these. I have this gorgeous shade of blue. It's called Seaside by Fusion Mineral Paint. I have been waiting for the right project to use this color on, and I think this is the right project. I can totally envision this body blue, definitely with an antique glaze treatment done on it. That's gonna be fun as well. But blue body, the wicker itself, I want to warm that up and darken it up a bit, make it a little bit more richer tone than what it has now. And that's literally it. Simple, simple, easy turnaround on these. They do not need anything added to them. They have an amazing shape. I love the legs, I love the curves, I love the juxtaposition of the curved legs and the very square pronounced top. I think it's absolutely fabulous. I think these are going to appeal to a lot of people, and I think they are going to look absolutely gorgeous. Before I can get to painting, you guys know the drill. I need to get this outside and I need to give it a sand. I'm gonna take out any imperfections. There's a few, not many. I'm definitely going to use like a 120, maybe even a 220. I'll bust out my sanding pads and my Surf Prep Pro, and I am gonna give this whole thing a nice little scuff sanding, both pieces. I'm even going to do the bamboo. I wanna open that up so it will take the treatment I'm going to give it. Hopefully, hopefully, like, that's the plan. We will see how that plays out, but that's the plan. So yeah, I'm gonna get it outside, and thank goodness today is the first cool day that we have had with no humidity, where you can actually breathe outside and the temperature matches the feels like temperature, because it hasn't for weeks. We've been in a nasty, nasty heat advisory. It's been disgusting outside. Ugh. Today it is much better, and it'll be actually really nice standing outside on this beautiful day, getting some sanding done. But I'm not gonna bore you with too much of that. You know the drill.
Conversations fill the air, lost in space and time. I don't ask for your name, it's already carved in the air. I won't light the flame, it's already burning when you are taking steps to keep my distance. I don't wanna fall. Am I strong enough to guide my heart away from it all? I won't call your name, it's already carved in the air.
I'm taping off that faux bamboo inserts. I don't want to get any primer on them. I do plan on trying to stain them. And once I have them taped off, I'm actually going to go around the outside edges of the tape with a clear poly spray. I'm going to brush that down, and then I'm going to go back over my piece with a crocodile cloth and wipe off the excess poly. I'm spraying the edges, and that's going to actually help prevent the primer from bleeding into that. So that's a great little tip to keep under your belt, and know if you do not want your work to bleed. Now I'm going to get my first coat of primer on, and I'm going to use a brush to get in the grooves, and then I'm actually going to use a very smooth napped roller, a mini roller that is, to paint the body. I want as smooth of a finish as I can get on it. Normally I would be using my 123 that I have tinted in gray. I prefer gray primer over white, but because this is that faux wood with like that plasticky veneer faux finish on it, I want to ensure that my paint has a very good foundation to stick to, and my Sticks primer is going to give me that. It is a real top quality primer that sticks to glass, ceramic, metal, stone. I mean, you name it, this stuff really gets on there and grips it well, so that the next layer of paint you put on really lasts. And your foundation is everything. You need to start with a good one to ensure that your project is going to go smoothly and successfully, and using the correct primers is going to give me that, and this is the right one for here. I'm going to get the first coat on. I'm going to let it dry really good. I'm going to get the second coat on it, and then I'm actually going to let these sit and cure for the night. When it comes to working with primer, especially Sticks on a surface that's not incredibly porous, I like to give it that extra curing time to ensure that my work is going to stay in place and that the primer is going to last and not lift. That's the most important thing. You want it to last, not lift. All right, they've cured and they are ready for paint, but before we begin with that, let me give you the lowdown and the flow down for how this project is going to go down. I am going to be using Seaside by Fusion paint. I'm gonna get probably 2 good coats on these pieces. I'm gonna let that cure. Then I am going to actually go over this with my Rust-Oleum glaze in Java. I'm actually going to dry brush some of the glaze on there, I think. That's the plan right now, which we all know is subject to change on a whim, but that's what's kind of going through my head and how I'm envisioning this being done. I'm gonna get my apron on so I don't ruin my clothes. Just came back from the dentist. Love going to the dentist. All right, Fusion Seaside. So 2 coats to start.
Call your name, it's already carved in the air. I won't light the flame, it's already burning when you are near. Do we all so slowly lose control? emotions overflow, falling into the unknown. Or do we all guard our small, fragile heart?
Once both coats were completed and dried, I brought the pieces outside so I could spray them with a poly. That is a necessary step when you're using a glaze, and I know Fusion's an all-in-one paint, but if you've been around here long enough, you know that I always use a separate primer and a separate top coat regardless of a paint being an all-in-one. I don't trust that. I trust the actual steps to getting it done. So outside for some poly so then we can put the glaze on. All right, they've been painted, they've been sealed. On to the next part, which is going to be adding the glaze to it. Now, I'm kind of winging this as I go. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to use and how it's going to go. I have a very stiff brush here. I want to kind of dry brush the details on here. And then I also have my corn husk broom, which you know I love to use, to soften out some of those lines if I need it. So we're just gonna wing this and kind of see what happens. Sometimes some of the best things come out of winging. I started off using my chip brush and tried dry brushing the lines on, if you will, but I really wasn't digging the look. I wasn't vibing with it. I don't think it actually looked good at all. So I ended up going back to my old way where I apply the glaze on and then pull it back. I love how the glaze changes the look of the paint. It's no longer this bright sea blue, if you will. It's changed it and darkened it and gave it character, and it just has this gorgeous, gorgeous finish on it now that I absolutely love. I love using glaze on a project. It really does change the look. Just look at the difference in the color, how that glaze transforms that blue into an antiquated paint color that looks absolutely fabulous, and it looks like it's been around for generations after generations.
Do we all so slowly lose control as emotions overflow, falling into the unknown? Or do we all guard our small, fragile hearts as we softly breaking apart, afraid to give in to the stars?
Now comes the experimenting part. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to need to do to get these tops that warm, rich color that I want, but I'm going to try using my Minwax gel stain in the shade Coffee and apply it to these tops that have been sanded and clean. I notice as I'm putting it on that it's not taking it evenly. It's a little bit blotched in areas, but I'm just going to get it on all of the pieces and see where we're at.
Falling into the unknown. Or do we all guard our small, fragile hearts?
Both tables have been glazed, and I got the first layer of stain on that faux bamboo. Very, very blotchy, but I wanted to get it on there so that all of this can sit for the night and kind of cure. Can reassemble tomorrow morning, see what it's looking like, see what steps I need to take on those bamboo areas to just make it not blotchy and finish it off, and then we're done. They already look so much better, but they're not there yet. Tomorrow, for sure. It's actually been a couple of days. It is now Thursday. Scott and I decided that we were gonna play hooky yesterday and head down to Race Point Beach in Provincetown, which is the absolute tip of the arm for the Outer Cape, as far as you can go. What a beautiful day. Seals were swimming in the ocean. I have never felt an ocean so cold, to be perfectly honest. The beach was filled. Not one person was in the water. It was that cold. When you put your feet in, it felt like knives were stabbing you. I've never felt anything like that, to be honest, but what a wonderful, beautiful sunny day, and got a little too much sun. I am sporting quite a burn. You should see my legs. Oh, Scott's burned as well, but gotta get back to work. After a great day of sun and lobster and fun, it's time to get back to these projects. So they have completely dried and they are a bit blotchy, but I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of giving me like a tortoise shell vibe. And I'm thinking if I can't get them completely perfect, it might not be so bad. Plus, seriously, once you get some plants on there, you're really not going to see a whole lot of it, but I still want to get a second coat of that coffee on the... How fabulous does that look? My Lord. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But yeah, I want to get a second coat on these. Mexican Coke break. Have you ever had a Mexican Coke? Chef's kiss, it is that good. Oh, so different. If you have never had Mexican Coke and you like Coca-Cola, try it. It has to be Mexican Coke, and not every Coke that comes in a bottle is Mexican Coke, so make sure you check. I've got 2 coats on all 4 surfaces, and this is a really thick coat because this plastic faux wood just doesn't want to play nice, but I will win, and I am winning. And there is a really thick coat on here. I'm gonna have to let this sit overnight and cure, but this is the look I wanted, and this is going to work. And I'll guarantee you this will be dry tomorrow. And quite honestly, I think these pieces look amazing. Absolutely stunning now. Well, guys, what do you think? I think they came out absolutely amazing. They look 1,000 times better. No more of that faux Bombay finish. They now look like really high-end custom pieces that would look absolutely gorgeous in a library, a den, even in a master bedroom with some great, beautiful ferns on them. I don't know why, but I just see ferns on these plant stands. If they were mine, that's what I would have on there. But I don't have room for them. They need a new home. Maybe it's yours. But I am so happy with how they came out. I love using glaze on my projects. I love the way it just transforms paint Takes it from that bright, crisp, new look, gives it age, patina, character, and a story that you want to hear told because you think that it's older than it actually is. That is one of the best things about faux finishes and why I think it's so important to get as many techniques under your belt as you possibly can. You can transform so many things so easy. Faux finish is the way to go. You guys are gonna have to let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? Do you love it as much as I do, or what? Because I'm over the moon for them. I think they look absolutely great. If you guys haven't hit that subscribe button yet, I would love it if you would consider doing so now. I post a new video every single week, alternating between studio life and real life, sharing every bit of my world with you guys. And I would love to have you along for this fun ride. Because we never know what's about to happen. That's the fun part. You never know what to expect around.